What's happening, my Block buddies? Welcome to Blocked Content. We finally have some more Nintendo Switch news, and we're ready to report on it. Actually, it's been a little while since we've had some Switch news, and right now we have a little bit more info on how cheap or how expensive this console will be. As you guys know, Nintendo's new console, the Nintendo Switch, has been announced already in this awesome 3.5-minute trailer, but since then we've not really had that much more information on it, and it's been trickling in for all sides, and I kind of love what Nintendo is doing it, not really releasing any information and thinking that trailer is just as good as it should be to just give a little bit of information on the console. But a lot of people are leaking information from here on out, which might end up being fake leaks or rumors, stuff like that. But we love to round them up and kind of provide you guys with what's happening out there, because you can get lost in all the articles, and that's where Blocked Content comes in. So at first we have Gizmodo.com. As you know, they have actually reported Nintendo Switch will reportedly be cheap, but what's the catch? Christina Warren writes that Nintendo won't be giving us more details about the upcoming Nintendo Switch console until January, but we're already getting leaks of the expected launch pricing. It almost seems too good to be true. Now, this is certainly the case, because I've kind of looked ahead to see what, the ultimate price of this Nintendo Switch leak is, and it's actually pretty exciting because the leak comes from a pretty reliable source. Now, I'm not talking about Gizmodo, this article, but it actually comes from a now deleted, they quickly put it offline because everyone was reporting on it, and it was actually from the Toys R Us website from actually Canada. Gizmodo.com writes, according to a now deleted webpage from Toys R Us in Canada, a cached page can be still seen. The Nintendo Switch base model will be around $330 in Canada. That's the equivalent of about $250 US. That is amazingly cheap. And the base model probably won't come with all the kind of crazy stuff that you expect, an extra Pro controller or, games, stuff like that. But, $250 US is so little. The problem, of course, they write, is that we don't know what you actually get for $250. What is in that packaging? We don't really know. Does that include both controllers? The main controller where you kind of dock your clickable Joy-Con controllers in, and of course the screen controller that you can take with you. As the product image implies, it does, but we don't really know. This is still a picture that could be used for anything. This was in Nintendo's official news outlet, so it could still mean just about anything. Does it come with the stuff that you need to hook it up to your TV? The Canadian Toys R Us page doesn't show those details at all. For all we know, $250 could just be the price of just the screen alone. Just having it on the go, be the base model, and wanting to play it indoors, on your big 4K TV might cost a little bit more. It's very interesting, and they actually note that hopefully our worries will be for naught. Let's Play Video Games' Laura Dale, as we've reported on before, you guys know that, also reported that the Switch will launch for £250, which is about $250 US, for the basic version, which she says will just be the console and controllers. Laura Kate Dale says that a model with a more internal storage and a pack-in-game will sell for about £250, which is the equivalent of about $312 US. So, as CNET points out, $250 is the same price as the Nintendo 3DS debuted back in 2011. If you think about that fact, $250 is the same price as when the Nintendo 3DS launched. That is insane to me. Do you guys remember the 3DS, what it looked like when it launched? Right? Well, it was just insane that price, it felt very justified. But now that we know this console could be going for the exact same thing, that was just insane. And it gets even crazier if you think about this next fact, because the Wii U, which launched in late 2012, the next year, was $300 for the basic model, and then $350 for the deluxe package, which I got the premium edition. This is just insane. If the Nintendo Switch, this new console, which can handle a lot more, which is also portable, which has all these amazing attachments to it, if that is $250 and the Nintendo 3DS debuted for the exact same and the Wii U cost $50 more, that is very cheap, and Nintendo is banking on a giant success with this console, which, would be a good guess, I guess, but it would be a gamble still. If this console ended up being the next Wii U and, kind of crashing a bit at the market, Nintendo would be looking at a giant loss here, and Nintendo hasn't had a really good 2016. In fact, I think it has been one of the, worst years Nintendo's had in such a long time. And now that they're lending their IPs out to more companies and, making movies and making theme parks and, doing the iPhone games like Pokemon Go and Super Mario Run, I think they're getting back on it in 2017 for sure. But that all also depends on if the Nintendo Switch, their next big home console release, will, be successful. Because if not, Nintendo will have something on their hands that is, kind of a disaster. The Nintendo, console cycle states that, the GameCube was a success, right? But it kind of, undersold just a little bit. And then the Wii came and it was this giant success. And then the Wii U came and it was like, oh no. And then, even with the handhelds, we have this kind of balance where we can see kind of a consumer fatigue, if you want to call it something like that. But it's pretty weird to think about something like that, because once you know the price of a certain product, if something new and better comes out, but the technology has advanced, does that, still cost the same price? Or does it cost more simply because it's a better product? But it's a different time, and, even with stuff like the new iPhones and stuff like that, those questions are always in the back of my head, like, would this exact product be released a few years earlier? Would it be, exponentially more pricey or not? That's a weird thing, So yes, Gizmodo.com actually says that if these pricing leaks are accurate, it could signify that Nintendo is positioning the Switch in the same price range as a portable console, rather than going above the $300 price point like others stay-at-home consoles, and honestly, that would make a lot of sense, especially given all the ways that Nintendo wants you to believe you'll actually play with the Switch. All those different awesome concepts. And, at the end, you can ask yourself, is $250 cheap enough? As long as it comes with everything you actually need to play, games notwithstanding, that would be pretty amazing. And, if you just think about it, $250 is, in my mind, very cheap for a console. I am saving up big time for the Nintendo Switch when it comes, because as you know, when you buy a console, you need to probably purchase a little bit more, and that's where bundles and stuff come in. You get it packaged with a special controller or with a game or different sort of games, and that is something that I really want and need when a console launches. You want to make this big purchase, but to have it for a longer period of time than just, the day, creating your Mii character and then going online to the eShop and stuff like that. You really want this solid experience where you can, play a little bit of this game, then go, download some demos, then play a little bit of that game, try out some different controller schemes, because, you want to experiment with this new console and not just have a base thing. So would that be about $250 worth? I think so. I am banking on it that it would probably cost a little bit more. Now, we also have, IGN actually talking about this a little bit more, and Joe Scribbles actually says that the Canadian arm of Toys R Us may have inadvertently outed the base price of the upcoming Nintendo Switch, which probably means that it wasn't their decision at all, or maybe someone screwed up a little bit and they ended up posting it and then quickly deleting it after, because they could get in a lot of trouble. Briefly listing the hybrid console at about $392.99, roughly about 200 pounds, or $250 US, and about 330 Australian dollars. So the listing has since been removed. As spotted by WCCF Tech, the potential price is competitive, placing it around the same level as the most basic Xbox One and PS4 units. Not to mention on par with the hugely successful Wii's $249.99 US initial price point, something that IGN has suggested in the rundown of unanswered Nintendo Switch questions. So to me, this is pretty cool because I didn't actually know that the Xbox One and PS4 units in their most basic form kind of have the same price point. And if you look at the Toys R Us leak, it says Nintendo Switch by Nintendo. It has all these social media options. It says buy online. The quantity you can put it in. There's a button that says email me when it's available, sort of like a pre-order offer, something like that. Recommended for ages 10 years and up. That is pretty interesting. And it says that the pricing on the website just states $329.99. This is pretty insane. The listing lines up with a report from Let's Play Video Games, which says two separate sources have indicated that the UK's game retail chain will sell a basic model for about $199.99. LPVG, so, Let's Play Video Games, L'Arcade Dale's website, I suppose, also reports that a premium model will be sold with more internal storage and a packing game for $249.99. So this would be on par with the premium package of the Wii U, which I bought and was very happy with. And more internal storage is always good because people are downloading games these days. People are downloading a lot of demos to try out different things. So I would love this. IGN also says that if this is the case and it is Nintendo's recommended price, it will mark the Switch as a significantly cheaper to manufacture than the Wii U. Nintendo has previously said it will not sell the new console at a loss. The Wii U was sold at a loss and at a $299.99 initial price point, and that was of course a big mistake on Nintendo's part and one that they are still trying to recover from. I really hope that they do with this new console. There's so much to talk about still. Nintendo will not comment on rumors about the console and will not be announcing anything more until a Nintendo Direct in January, and I think that is so exciting because that's got to be where we end this, right? Where we end all the speculation and all the rumors going around about this console. We know so much more than the days when we called it Nintendo NX. That makes me very happy. But as it always happens, when you answer a question, more questions arise. So I hope you guys like what we do at Block Content. We kind of gather all the news that's worthy of creating this awesome video for you guys, and kind of picking out the things that are interesting and kind of match up with previous reports, and then seeing what do you guys think. I'm very interested. For what kind of price would you be buying a Nintendo Switch? What kind of bundles would you be interested in? If I have to say it myself, I'd be very interested in something like a Mario Kart, a Mario bundle, a Mario game like Mario Kart, or the new Mario game, which we don't really know if it's going to release with a console, probably not, but just a game and hopefully a Pro controller, because something in the back of my mind says that we won't be getting a GameCube, controller adapter, because they kind of need to step away from that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want Nintendo to step away from that, but I feel like they have to sort of move on and, give people something new, something that is now and not just looking at the past. Oh, we need this controller because we used it way back when Melee was a big thing. Maybe we need a new controller for a new Smash because it has a new output. Anyway, those are all thoughts for a different time. Anyway, that's what I think a bundle should be. I'm very happy with the suggested price points in all these leaks and rumors. I am very happy right now. I hope you guys are too, and be sure to subscribe to Block Content because we got a lot more news on the Nintendo Switch coming very shortly, because every day they're trickling in and we got them for you. So remember guys, subscribe to Block Content, like this video, and we'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more Nintendo Switch news.